Hey, we back with more Mudae guides, with KLs this time. What's up with those, eh? KLs is short for Kakera loots. Kakera loots are a pretty big part of Mudae after badges. You can check what you've got on your Kakera loots here with LK, which is short for like list Kakera loots or something like that, I'm not sure. And then KLs is Kakera loots. Someone requested I do a video on this, and I was like, hey, what should I talk about? And there wasn't any suggestions, so I'll just talk about not very much, because there's actually not much to talk about. They take a bit of getting grips to, I guess. They're a bit confusing perhaps at the start, but actually, like strategy-wise, it's pretty self-explanatory. What we can do is we can do info KLs. I think that's a command. I don't know. Oh, okay, yeah, sure. I guess probably it was just info KL, and then I added an S on the end for DM. Anyway, there you go. This is Kakera Loots. Kakera Loots give you random events in the Maui Roulette. Prerequisites: Sapphire, Ruby 1, and Emerald 1. Do not do that. Like, don't unlock those 3 badges and go straight for Kakera Loots because they're garbage. Wait until you've got all of your badges maxed before you start getting into this. I'll explain that in a minute, but yeah. Rewards: you can get additional roles, Kakera, disable list capacity, and more list stuff. We'll get to them in a minute. Read that if you like. Protect Live Wishes is a cool thing. It does what it says on the tin. It protects your wishes. It means that other people can't snipe them. There's also upgrades for it. Per level of quantity, 1% chance to double your loots, and per level of quality, 1% chance to spawn any loot. So at quantity 100, you get twice the loots, and at quality 100, loots are twice as rare, which is pretty self-explanatory, really. But yeah, then there's information about your stacked rolls, LKL to see your stats, or can actually be shortened to LK as well. KL to do a roll, and then yeah, that's all there is for that. Now if we go through here, you can see the USs. These again pretty self-explanatory. Like if I do a TU, I actually have some rolls now, so a bad example I guess. But like let's say I do US 5, you can now see I have 18 rolls and plus 5 USs. So now I can do 23 rolls on this server. Woohoo! Not a huge increase. And this is why Kakera loots are bad, because especially when you start out, you do a Kakera loot. By default, that costs you 1,000 Kakera. Cost me 500 on here because I put it at minimum cost, but by default that's 1,000 Kakera. This is with max upgrades, and we got like barely anything. The chances are, when you have no upgrades, you will get 1 roll, and that's it. So like, great, I guess. Ooh, got 1 roll. 1 roll. You get like 15 rolls per hour or whatever, and now you get like 1 extra per 1,000 Kakera. Don't buy Kakera loots. But once you've maxed your badges, of course, you have nothing else to spend it on, so yes. This is when we get to upgrades, because upgrades obviously make it better. Let's say you're going to spend 1,000,000 Kakera. If you spend 500,000 on upgrades and then 500,000 on KLs, you will get more stuff than if you did it the other way around. If you see what I mean. If you spent the money on KLs and then the upgrades, right, you'll just get more stuff. So basically, the earlier you do the upgrades, the better. That doesn't mean go straight to level 100 instantly, because getting this cool stuff is pretty useful sometimes, especially if you're lucky. But yeah, you want to be going for the upgrades as much as possible. I would say get up to like level 30 at least before you do any KLs, and then maybe do like 100 KLs and then go up to 50, then do like 100 more and go up to 70, I don't know, something like that. And then if you've done like less than 1,000 KLs by the time you hit level 100 on both of these two, then you're doing alright. Plenty of people I know hit 1,000 KLs and have barely any upgrades, and that is a big waste of capital. So, just that. For reference though, it takes about 2 million Kakera to max both of these out. So that's like a lot. So, it's going to take some time. It really is. Obviously I've managed it on here, but this server's been running for like 8 months now, and I've been abusing Bites the Dust Requiem as well, and I've got loads of level 6 and level 10 keys. So, you have to be patient. Generally, it's going to take a long time. On this server, where no abuse is happening, it's actually a normal public server. You can see my KLs. The levels are pretty close to level 100, to be fair, but this server's been going for a year now. Admittedly, I've done a lot of KLs, that's wasted capital at the moment, but I wasn't very smart when I started out on this server, so it makes sense. The point is, I'm about level 100 here. Like, if I'd done slightly less KLs and slightly more upgrades, I would be about level 100 now, and it's taken a year. Of course, I had to level up my badges first, and whatever else, but yeah, it takes some time. Anyway, as for the rewards, what you want to be looking out for, perm rolls at the bottom here. Oh dear, highlighted everything. Perm rolls are obviously the best thing to get. Again, does what it says on the tin. It's a roll, it's permanent. Means every hour, instead of getting 18 rolls, I will get 19. Pretty good. And this has no limit. Whereas with like Sapphire Badge, it has a limit, obviously, of 4. This has no limit. So you could get like 50 rolls per hour with this, right? They get rarer the more of them you get, so it's going to be really hard to get that many, but totally doable, eventually. RT cooldown, again, does what it says on the tin. This stuff is very self-explanatory. Go read it if you really want to know. It means your RT cooldown costs less. So with max badges, RT cooldown is 20 hours. On this server, it's 11 hours. If I go to here, 5 hours. And that's minimum. It won't go below 5. So yeah, that's pretty good, 5 hour RT cooldown. Wishlist slots, again, self-explanatory. It adds slots to the wishlist. Again, like this, it has no cap. So this is basically a free bronze badge, but with no cap. So you can get like, 50 wishlist slots. Epic. They also get rarer as they go along. So, yeah. You also have to look at the numbers here. I have max upgrades. I've done 4,000 KLs, and I got like 20 wishlist slots, 10 perm rolls. Like, you can see how rare they are. They are really rare, so don't expect to be getting them. This is why you go for the upgrades first, because you're going to need them. This is with max upgrades. Imagine what it would be like without the upgrades. You would do this many KLs and get a quarter of this. So, yeah. Pins, pretty much useless to be honest. Each pin that you get adds 1 to your DK value. So with pins like this, I'm getting like 900 Kakera for every DK, but considering how much Kakera I got, 900 doesn't help me that much. And that's only once per day as well. And of course, one pin, which is what you're likely to get, doesn't really do anything. It's better than what they used to do, which is literally nothing, but yeah, pins are pretty much useless. Protected Wish, it's overrated, but it's still pretty good. Obviously, it protects your wishes so other people can't snipe them. That's for 3 seconds. So if your server has Wish Protect on anyway, it's useless, but as long as your server doesn't have Wish Protect, they allow sniping, then this can help. Gives you a couple of extra seconds to get your wish. And it actually increases the chance of getting your wish as well. And so I now have a 1 in 800 chance of rolling a wish, which is actually pretty high, if you think about it. Compared with the 1 in 60,000 default, and with max badges and rolling WA and all your wishes being female, gay, and not game, then you have like a 1 in 10,000 chance of rolling a wish, something like that. And now here we're at 1 in 800, so it's pretty good. Disable lists, self-explanatory, means you can disable more characters. This is game mode 2, so it means that you can limb roll more characters, but it's the same principle. And then roll stat we have been through already. So yeah, that's basically how they work. What you should be looking out for is these three at the bottom. They're the good stuff. This is mostly trash, and this is what you're going to get. You won't get 9,000 off them either. You'll get like one at a time, and it's useless. Strategy-wise, don't buy them, like at all. Wait until you have maxed all of your badges, and then even after that, make sure you've got loads of upgrades. You want at least level 30 before you get any KLs, I think, anyway. And then, you know, a bit of each. 100 KLs, 20 level upgrades, 100 KLs, 20 level upgrades, like whatever. Something like that. And then once you get to level 100, you can just go ham on the KLs and it's all good. Like, we can sit here doing KLs for ages, you know? I've got plenty of capital for it. Will we get anything good? Apparently we actually will. We'll get 2 perm rolls. Fantastic. I was really lucky to get it that quick. What a irrespective example of the actual statistics. They are not that common. But yeah, if you actually want to see me opening, like, you know, 600,000 Kakera worth of KLs, and probably even more, there's some videos of me doing that already on the channel. So you can go check them out. They're very nice. We do Kakera openings, and I get perm rolls, and I don't really get many perm rolls because they're rare. Anyway. Bye!